So when you look at the IIP numbers which have come in today, the growth in 8 infrastructure industries that make up for 2/5 of the index of industrial production, which is IIP, it dropped to 2.1% in July compared to 7.3% in the same month a year ago. This was primarily due to the contraction in the output of coal, crude oil, natural gas and refinery products, according to the data which got released on Monday. The reason why data is also important is because energy consumption is usually considered a proxy for standard of living. Also comes at a time when there is a lot of doom and gloom predicted for the economy. The data which for the April-July period, it basically shows that the 8 sectors grew by 3% compared to 5.9% in the same period a year ago. Coal production actually shrank by around 1.4%, crude oil output contracted 4.4%, natural gas by 0.5% and refinery products by 0.9% in July. So the production of fertilizers, steel and cement and electricity generation showed growth in July. However, when you look at the July output of the 8 core industries, it is actually an improvement from the upwardly revised 0.7% growth in June 2019, which was earlier reported at 0.2%. Also, the moderately strong growth in cement and steel sectors in July, though slower than the growth reported in the same month last year, could indicate some demand actually coming up in the construction sector, which has been facing all kind of bad news. Also, the fertilizer output and electricity generation also saw growth in July. Now, the mixed signals from the core sector follows some very uninspiring macro as well as high frequency indicators, suggesting that the economic downturn could persist for some time. Now also comes at a time when the private survey showed India's manufacturing output grew at its slowest pace in 15 months in August. The seasonally adjusted IHS Markit India Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index or PMI, which is based on a survey of 400 producers, it retreated from 52.5 in July to 51.4 in August, its lowest mark since May 2018. The market information supplier said in a statement. Now this survey, which is a PMI, tracks new orders, output, jobs, suppliers delivery time and stocks of purchases. A reading above 50 indicates expansion, while a sub 50 print is indicative of contraction. This added to the worries already stoked by the June quarter data released last Friday, which actually showed India's economy had expanded at 5%, its slowest pace of growth in 6 years. Now, the persisting weakness in economic growth may prompt the RBI, which is the Reserve Bank of India, which has so far cut the benchmark interest rate 4 times in January to 5.4% in August, to continue with its monetary stimulus and put pressure on the central government to go for a fiscal stimulus despite its tight financial condition. The government is aware of the problems. When you look at Finance Minister Sitaraman's statement, which was made to the reporters on Sunday, she actually said that the central government will take a proposal for lowering the GST rate on automobiles to Federal Indirect Tax Body, which is a GST Council, to give a relief to industry facing a crippling demand slowdown. Now, experts attributed the current economic downturn to sluggish growth in income levels, leading to a demand slowdown compounded by problems in specific sectors and adverse global economic headwinds. This also comes at a time when there is a trade war which has been brewing between the US and China. The government has actually announced a slew of steps to arrest the economic slowdown. These measures include front-loading public spending, improving access to credit for businesses, infusing fresh capital into state-run banks, liberalizing foreign ownership norms, and announcing its intention to make big infrastructure spending. However, given the size of the Indian economy, it's still left to be seen whether such measures will actually make a dent.